Hello, I'm Mike Cook. On September 22nd, 2025, I'm with the Nebraska Vietnam Veterans Memorial Foundation's Share Your Story project. Bellevue University is a sponsor of the NVVMF Memorial Park project, and I'm at the Lincoln County Historical Museum with veteran Robert Daniel Johnson. We will be using Robert's middle name during the interview, Dan, who he has agreed to share his story for the Library of Congress Veteran History Project and the Nebraska Veteran Memorial Park Project. Dan, let's start with your full name.
Robert Daniel Johnson.
Okay. And where were you born?
Gandy, Nebraska.
Gandy, Nebraska. Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about your parents and what was their occupations?
My mother was a seamstress. My dad was a farmer and farmed at south of Stapleton, 12 miles.
Uh-huh.
And that's where I grew up.
Okay. All right. Did you have any brothers and sisters?
Yes, I had two sisters they're both deceased from cancer. And I got one brother that's 10 days younger than I am.
10 days younger?
Mm-hmm. 10 years.
10 years younger.
10
okay.
years.
All right. Did any of them serve in the military?
No. My dad was a Navy man in World War II.
Uh-huh.
But my brothers and sisters never served.
Okay. What schools did you attend?
Stapleton, Baker Rural High School, then it's Stapleton School now.
Uh-huh.
But it's in Stapleton. I went till 7th grade in a country school by the name of Whitaker. It was District 10, south of Stapleton.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And let's see. Let's go to what were your parents or siblings' feelings about you joining the service?
I didn't join. I had no choice.
Oh,
They
you were
drafted me.
Uh-huh.
I would have. Looking back on it, I wished I'd stayed in the service, but I just spent my 2 or 6 years, whatever you want to call it, at 2 years in the active service, 2 years inactive, and 2 years reserve.
Uh-huh.
That's what I had. I wished I would have stayed.
Okay.
I enjoyed it, to tell the truth.
All right. Were you married before you went in the
Yes, I
service?
was.
You were. Okay.
Yes. About a month.
About a month. Okay. Can you tell me what'd your spouse think of you going into the service?
Well, she didn't mind me being in the service, but she didn't like me being away from home that quick or that far. I left to go overseas, and it was 23 months before I ever come home again.
Mm-hmm.
And she wanted to go to service herself, but her family didn't think a woman should do that.
Oh, okay.
At that time.
Uh-huh. Well, did you hold any jobs before you went in the service, or did you
Did I what?
hold any jobs?
Oh yeah, I worked on a ranch, and
Okay. And anything else?
job-wise, no.
Okay.
I worked on.
And then you said you were drafted?
Yes.
Okay. I don't understand why, but they want to know, why did you join the service? Well, I was drafted. Okay. Where did you go into the service?
Omaha, and then they put us on the last troop train going out of Nebraska. I went to El Paso, Texas, to Fort Bliss.
Fort Bliss, okay. So important things that you left behind when you left home were your family, your wife,
Yeah,
and that, okay.
that's about all I had then.
And you entered the Army?
Army, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay, how did you get to your initial point of entry? Where did you take your physical and that?
In Omaha.
In Omaha?
Yes.
Okay. All right. And then you went from there to Fort Bliss?
Yes.
For basic training?
Yes.
Okay. All right. What other types of training or schooling did you have?
After basic training?
Yeah.
Yeah, I went over to Fort Huachuca, Arizona for training and supply training.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, what was the most vivid memories that you had of your time training in the various schools? What was the best part of it? What was the worst part of it? If there was a best part. The worst part.
Well, I met a lot of people. Of course, it was a pretty big base at that time. Fort Bliss was.
Uh-huh. Go ahead.
Pretty big base of basic training. That's all I really got into, but and I met a lot of people, and I hadn't been out of the Sandhills hardly before.
Mm-hmm.
Going down there, and so about half scared all the time. I didn't know what was going to happen. Then after I got out of training at Arizona and they sent me to Korea, that was the first time that a sergeant behind a desk stood up and shook my hand. And so I decided then that it probably wasn't going to be real bad.
Okay. All right. So you went to Korea for your first. Well, let me drop back. Were there any instructors during any of your training that stood out to you?
Not that I can think of now. They just the instructors I had in basic training and supply training both was just basically like our teachers in high school. Mm-hmm. They just stood up in front and told us about what we were studying, and so I didn't have any real bad feelings about or real good feelings, either one. I just did what they told us to, and that was it.
Okay. All right. And then your first assignment was in Korea?
Korea.
Okay. And that occurred, when did that happen?
Who knows? 68, let's see, 68 or 67.
You went in 66 in November, so it was probably, by the time you got done with everything, it was probably in 67.
67, yeah. Mm-hmm. It was 8 weeks training in Fort Huachuca, and then we was 3 weeks in a holding company waiting for orders. Mm-hmm. And they sent me home from basic training on the 16th of December for, I think, 2 weeks. They shut down the basic training. Mm-hmm. And so let's see, we figured that out. It had been 10 weeks in basic training because of going home for Christmas for them 2 weeks. So, and then 8 weeks in Fort Huachuca after them 10 weeks was up, and 3 weeks after the 8 weeks was up in Fort Huachuca, and so however that figures out.
Yeah, well, that's okay. But it was probably in the first quarter of
Yes.
1967. Then. Okay. Let's see what was I going to? Let's talk about specialized training. I know when we talked originally, we talked about you had truck driver training,
Yeah.
and some other types of training that took place at Fort Huachuca. And how about weapons training?
Yes, well, in basic training, I had weapons training,
Okay.
and you know, when I was in Korea, we had to have weapons training and physical training. And
Physical
where
fitness?
what?
Physical fitness?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
And where I was driving a truck, and there was always short-handed truck drivers, they just filled out the papers on me. I never did nothing. In Korea or Vietnam, either one.
Okay. Well, tell me about any promotions. I know that you left the service as a E4 specialist.
I was up while I took the test for E5.
Uh-huh.
Not too long before they sent me home, and they called me back in for 3 or 4 days and said I passed the test real good, and they'd give me the promotion if I was going to re-up and stay in. And at that day and age, I said, no, I ain't going to stay in. So they said, well, we'll keep the promotion, give it to somebody else. And so that's the way that turned out. But I did wear sergeant stripes as a, I don't even remember what they called it, but I didn't get paid for it or nothing. It's just temporary until somebody got in there. That's about as far as it went.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, what was the hardest part of the military lifestyle for you to adapt to?
Being away from my wife no longer than we'd been married.
Okay. What was the easiest part of the lifestyle, military lifestyle, for you to adapt to?
Well, I guess it must have been the way I grew up. The people in charge, I didn't argue with them or anything. I just did what they told me to, and I got along real good on that end of it. I didn't have any court martials or anything like that to worry about it. And it was easy for me because of the way I grew up, you know. The elderly was in charge.
Okay. All right. Okay. Let's talk a little bit about your service. I understand that primarily you served in Korea as part of the armistice contingency there.
Yeah.
And that was the majority of your service time.
Yes.
And where then you served a period of time in Vietnam. And what was your role there?
I was truck driver down there too.
So basically combat support?
Yep.
Okay. And what were those missions like?
Well, I was only there a month, and it was basically like in Korea, just deliver whatever they needed, fuel or groceries or laundry or whatever, and back and forth, and I don't even know. I went to, in that month's time, Vietnam veterans asked me, where was you at? And I really don't know, because I was just all over. I'd get a load of groceries to somebody, and there'd be somebody standing there, and you need to go over here and over there. And so I actually didn't really have a base in Vietnam. And Korea, of course, I did. But
Well, when you went to Vietnam, where did you land?
I don't know that even. I think it was Cameron Bay, but I don't remember for sure.
It probably was. Yeah, I think that's where most Army personnel landed. Was at Cameron Bay.
Probably where I did.
Yeah.
So
Okay. Well, a typical day for you in Vietnam?
just driving the truck, delivering stuff, mainly delivering fuel to the infantry and stuff, but I did deliver groceries and laundry and whatever they needed.
Okay. So you didn't really have time to establish many contacts or anything?
No, not
there?
really.
Okay.
And I really don't know why I was down there, because I guess they run out of truck drivers or something.
Okay. Now let's go. Well, let me ask you some things here. Obviously, friendships were not developed too much.
No,
too many.
not in Vietnam. No.
Okay. And how about any experiences there that?
Not really. I didn't ever get into any combat or anything down there. It wasn't too much different from driving a truck in the States, but little worse roads is about all it was.
Yeah. All right. You recall any sights or smells or anything of Vietnam? Anything that was different?
Coming out of Korea was their kimchi. I was kind of used to that, different smells. And the sights was mainly jungle, driving through, There'd be a bare space that'd be where the United States had cleared off for a base, and that's about it. I was, all the time I was in Vietnam, I was just hoping they'd get me out of there and go back to Korea.
Okay.
Like I say, I was only there a month, and then they took that ship, the Pueblo, and that was close to Korea, and so everybody in Korea went on alert, and they shipped me back up there. And so, and on my end of it, nothing became of that. But
Okay. How about, let's talk a little bit about Korea. Now, when you were in Korea, you were a truck driver.
yeah,
Okay. And when you were, what did you deliver there? Basically the same types of items? Or?
yeah, groceries and fuel, mainly fuel. They had their stoves and, of course, their vehicles and everything other than the Jeeps and stuff, run off of diesel. Little stoves inside of them Quonset hut run off of diesel, and wintertime was cold there, and we had to keep up on that real Pacific, keep the diesel to them. I did deliver a lot of laundry in a van, and a lot of food in refrigerator trucks, and I don't suppose they want the stories, but they sent me clear from Camp Casey clear to south end of Korea once, and I got a load of beer on a semi, full load, this is high as they could stack it, and I had 2 guards on top, 1 guard sitting in the seat beside me, and a Jeep following with 2 guards in it. That load of beer, I took it up Camp Casey, backed it up to the dock, and a month or so later they sent me down there again. Well, I got a load of ammunition then, every size, color there was of ammunition for everybody, and had 1 guard sitting in the seat beside me, and I didn't have all the guards on top. The beer was more important than the ammunition, I guess. I always thought that was funny.
That is kind of, priorities.
Yeah, priorities.
Exactly. All right. Okay, let's talk about what they call end of service, your end of your active duty.
Yeah.
Okay, do you recall the day your service ended and where were you?
Yeah, I was still Camp Casey. There was, well, when I went over there, they had a whole plane load of us going over there, 707 plane load, I don't know. But anyway, they scattered us out all over. Well, it was 11 hours on that plane, so we kind of got acquainted to a few people and stuff, and I'd never seen them all the time I was over there. So when I went to South Korea to get on the plane to come home, here most of them was, and we talked and everything, and got on the plane, full plane load of us again coming home. There was a few missing because of getting shot or something, or getting sick or whatever, and we got back into Washington State. I think, what was it, Tecumseh or something like that. Anyway, I was walking down the ramp and run into 2 or 3, well, I call them hippies. It was all dressed different than I'd ever seen anybody dressed before. And a guy grabbed me, I stopped and was looking at him, and the guy grabbed me and said, "Come on, Johnson." He says, "That's the way they dress now." And, of course, they was like they did all the Vietnam guys, hollering at us, baby killers and all that stuff. We just had to ignore it and go on through it and get it processed out. But,
Okay.
that was my first encounter with them.
Okay, and so now you're at, where was that at?
At Fort Lewis. Yeah.
Okay, and from Fort Lewis, where did you go to come on home? And how did you get there?
Plane. I flew to North Platte.
From Fort Lewis?
Yeah, well, we went to Portland and then to Denver and then to,
Oh, you flew from there to Portland to Denver, and
and then to North Platte.
You flew from Denver to North Platte?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. And how was your reception here?
It's good here. Of course, the big deal at that time was Stapleton County Fair.
Mm-hmm.
I got home about 3 days ahead of that. And my wife met me here at the airport and went down and got some civilian clothes. And we went to the county fair, and of course I got to see a lot of people there that I hadn't seen for 23 months, and one elderly lady by the name of Mrs. Trumbull. We pulled in with the car to park, and she came running up to me. Of course, I knew everybody there. It's a small town, you know, and she came running up to the car, hugged me, and said, "I have to get a hug before all the rest of these people started hugging you."
Well, that's good. That's good. All right. So you're home.
Yep.
Okay. And what did you do when you got home?
I went back to work on a ranch.
Went back ranching. Okay.
Yeah.
And was there any readjusting to that, or?
Not really. The ranch I went to work on had, I don't know, 8 or 10 men on it. And most of them had been where I was, or not where I was specifically, but in Vietnam or overseas. Overseas, and so there wasn't a whole lot of hoopla over me being overseas, because the rest of them had pretty much been over there. There's a couple of them that hadn't.
Sure. Okay. Did the service change you at all?
Well, if you talk to my wife, it did.
Oh, okay.
I didn't know it had, but it did. Or I guess according to her it did. But our temper was shorter. According to her, I'd get mad a lot faster over a few things, but I don't know if I think I've calmed down on that quite a little too.
Okay. How about friendships from the service? Have you continued any friendships that you made?
Yes, I had two. They're both died now. One was Linville Morrison, Texas. The other was Tom Conway. He was from California, and we was always together over there. And
this was in Korea?
yeah. And like I say, both of them have passed now. I think Tom passed because of cancer, and Linville got to weigh about 450 pounds, and his heart quitting. He was a little skinny guy when I knew him very well. We telephoned back and forth about once a month, and then I went down there. They came up here, went down to northern Texas, saw him a couple times, and then him and his wife and 2 kids came up to see us up in the Sandhills. And I got a phone call one day, and they said he died. And I still think it was his heart from weighing so much, you know.
Yeah. Okay. Did the service affect the way you relate to others? Did it have some kind of impact on that?
Well, yeah. I was pretty leery of others. Still am, in fact. I don't really trust a lot of people. That kind of bugs my wife too, but I don't like Well, her folks was great they loved Cornhusker football. My father-in-law always got season tickets. And he had 2 boys and 2 son-in-laws. And so one year he'd take the 2 boys with him down there to the football games, and so the next year the 2 son-in-laws come. We gotta go. And I appreciated him thinking of me and everything, and I went. But them big crowds, I can't stand them big crowds.
Don't like crowds.
Yeah, I don't like crowds, no, and I still don't. I can't get over that. And I really think maybe the news and television has something to do with that, because they have them shootings and stuff in them big crowds, and
Yeah.
I said, that's why I don't like to go to them.
No, I understand.
And I've never had one happen that way in a big crowd, but it's always on my mind.
Okay. Well, did you join any veteran organizations? VFW, American Legion?
Both.
Both? Okay. How about the DAV, Disabled American Vets,
no.
as far as, attending?
I've thought some of that, but I haven't ever joined them yet. I'm in the Legion at Sutherland and down here, the post here for VFW. I was a post commander in Chapel, Nebraska for 3 years on the VFW. Before that, I was on my own shoeing horses at Burns, Wyoming, which is 25 miles from Cheyenne, east of Cheyenne. And for 6 years, I was the post commander for the Legion there until pretty much dissolved. I mean, I kind of took that personal. This seems like every year we just went down on enrollment, and till, we consolidated it into Cheyenne, and there's only 6 of us left. And I wondered what I was doing wrong all the time to make the post go away like that. But then I came to Chapel, and we bought a ranch there, and got in the VFW there. They didn't have a Legion, and I got in the VFW, and after 3 or 4 years they made me commander, and the same thing is happening. It's started going down in enrollment. They wanted me to go for the 4th year, and I said, no, I've ruined one Legion post because of that. I says, I don't want to ruin this. But it according to everybody I've talked to, it ain't my fault. It was just the way it's going,
Well, the thing is, you end up, I know that a lot of it has to do with, first off, you lose a lot of members because they passed.
Yeah.
And then you lose a lot of members because they move, or they have to go someplace. One of the things that I've found is that they either have to go into a care home, or they have to, their children take them in, and they don't live in the same town. They live someplace else, and they move. And the real issue that I have found is that we're not getting the young. There's so many other things going on that the younger vets are into, and that makes it tough to really get them involved.
We was working constantly up there trying to get them young people. We got some of them enrolled, but they would never come to a meeting.
Yeah.
And
they always had something else going on.
Yeah.
Family, you know,
Job.
sports,
Yeah.
lots of different things.
Yeah.
Have you attended any reunions?
No.
No?
I haven't.
Okay.
And
All right.
You're right about people dying, because that post there at Chapel, the VA post, it's about every month I go up there to a funeral. Some of the guys are dying. And, so I shouldn't blame myself for all of that, but it kind of bothered me that I couldn't get them young guys to come in there.
Yeah, yeah, I know that feeling. Well, let's kind of change a little bit here and reflect on a few things. How do you feel about the military service experience affecting your life?
Well, I know it's affected me, but a lot of it's for the good, and a lot of it I don't even know what it is. And I'm so crazy, I guess, if I'm talking to a cop or a military officer or something, I'm still sir and all that, you know. And,
Well, that's not all bad. That's good.
And one thing I can think of right now is my wife was a nurse, was for 47 years. She's retired now. But I'd walk into the hospital where she was at. The first thing I do is take my cap off, or hat, or whatever I got on my head. And at one hospital there that she worked in, there was a guy in there that was, I think he was a Iraqi vet or something, but he was a nice guy, and I talked to him a lot and everything, and he, well, after I left that time, he asked my wife, he says, does he always take his hat off when he comes inside? She says, yes. Because when I was in there, you walk through the door, you better have it off or you better have it on, whichever way you was going. And that is a habit that I've really got into. And that started before the service, because my dad was a Navy man, and he did that all the time. And there's just certain little things like that that my wife has noticed over the years that I do because of the service. And my brother, like I say, he's 10 years younger than I am, and he lost all of his hair when he was about probably 21 or 2 years old. He's bald, worse than I am, and it bothers him. And he does not take off his cap or hat when he goes any place. But he's really conscious about what he looks like, and I guess I really don't care what I look like.
Well, let me ask you some life lessons you learned in the military.
Well, that, and well, I don't know. I try to help everybody that I can, you know, and for an instance, I'm just sitting here thinking, for an instance, Sam's Club up at Cheyenne, the parking lot, you go around to the east part on the drive, the roads they've kind of laid out in there, but it goes downhill. And I've been walking down that hill, and there'll be a lady with 1 to 3 kids there, and one of the little kids had run right out in that road, you know, trotting along there with her and playing and stuff. And twice I pulled 2 kids back out of there and saved them from getting run over. And of course, the mothers just went crazy. Well, that one mother paddled the little kid. I told you to stay out of that road. And they thanked me for getting them out of the way. And I don't know. In my opinion, there's probably not a lot of people that would have done that. They was thinking of themselves or something. I don't want to get run over, but that's just my opinion. Maybe everybody would have done it too.
Well, how about feelings for the military?
Oh, I messed up my one daughter. She's been 31 years in the military now. She went to Flagstaff, Arizona on an ROTC scholarship, and then she got out and she stayed in the Air Force for 21 years, and then got out and went to the Army she's gonna stay there for 20 years. But she just loves it. And I have no regrets about going to the service, none at all. Like I said before, I probably should have stayed.
Okay.
No,
So you're a good supporter of the Army, of the military.
You bet.
All right. What message would you like to leave for future generations who are going to view and hear your story?
Well, telling the truth, that there's nothing wrong with the service. In my time, and probably your time too, there's lots of people going to Canada so they didn't have to go to the service. And I didn't. And that could have been my dad talking to me about it. He was in Midway when they had that big battle and stuff. He came out of it all right. He wouldn't talk about it, but we didn't know that until one night that movie was on television, and I called him up. I said, "Dad, you was in the Navy. I thought maybe you'd like to watch that movie." "No," he says, "I saw enough of that when I was over there." And then he had the Bronze Star, and why he got it, I don't know. But we didn't know until he died that he had that. And so I kind of inherited that about not talking about what happened to me and everything else, but I'm kind of getting over that a little bit. But,
all right. Well, have you told your story to your family?
some of it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
And what'd they think?
Well, I just heard my wife tell somebody the other day, says, I didn't know none of this has happened until just here lately. I probably talk more. My daughter was in Iraq twice, Afghanistan once or twice, I don't know. South Africa. I always told her if she had trouble with her arm, when they'd ask for volunteers, they'd fly up. But anyway, her and I can talk a little bit about it, but different things that happened. But it's all different now with her than it was with me.
Sure.
And she has her stories. She'll talk about it, and I'm getting better about it. But
well, different generation, different time.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
she'll stand up to the people above her. And I don't, I say yes, sir, no, sir.
Uh-huh. Well, it's time for me to thank you for taking the time to share your recollections of your military service.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add that we've not covered?
Not really, no. Running out of things to say.
All right. Anything you want to share that you, about your service or your experience that you never had before?
No, not really, no.
Okay. How about things you'd like your family to know and to remember about your story?
Pardon me, I didn't hear you.
Anything that you'd like your family to know that you haven't related in the past that we haven't covered in the story?
No, I don't think so.
All right.
I don't think so.
All right. Now comes the big question. What would you like to have people know about the veterans that they don't realize right now?
Well, a lot of us went through some hard times. I like them to know about that, and I think people do, because I wear the caps all the time, and I go into Walmart or something, and thanks for your service. A lot of people, thanks for your service all the time, and so I think a lot of them do understand what we kind of went through over there and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And of course, a lot of them, they say, thanks for your service, and I said, well, thanks for your support. And they'll say, oh, I was in there too, so, you know, and,
Sure.
and so they know what's going on, but I like my daughter now, being in there for so many years. I would like for them to get off of this, not having women in there. She's done a good job in there, and I'm sure, well, she's got the Bronze Star too. I'm the only one in the family that don't have one, but she is, well, after she got out of ROTC, she went in as a lieutenant, and she made it clear up to a light colonel in the 21 years she was in there. And she's a civilian in the Army, but she did awful good in the service, and I think there's a lot of girls, a lot of females that do good in the service, and I wish people would quit condemning them for going. But I have a niece that's someplace in Carolina in the Marines right now. But, she's been in this a couple of years. I don't know if she's going to stay or not, but
Well, that's great. Well, I think that's a good time to close.
okay.
We'll close. I want to thank you very much.
Well,
I remember when we were talking earlier, you said, well, I don't have much to say and that, but you managed to go over 45 minutes talking. So apparently, you know, it was good.
yeah,
And because of that,
I think I needed somebody to ask the questions. I couldn't think of nothing to say unless you'd ask the question.
yeah. Well, you know, that's what it's all about. Is you know, us asking you the things that kind of,
Yeah.
and in some cases it brings back some hard memories for some of the guys.
Yeah.
And for others, it's joyful memories.
Yeah.
And that. Well, with that, I'm going to turn the camera off, and before I do that, I want to again say thank you for your service,
Yeah.
and it was great talking with you, Dan.
Great.
Really
Thank you.
super.
Thank you too.